Hello everybody, I hope you are all doing well. My name is Ashley, this is Ernie, and welcome to the Library of a Silver Saint, where we talk all things books. I hope you're all doing well today. He's so happy. I'm in a slightly different setup today. Basically, really quickly, I have actually already recorded this video, but again, I had a few technical difficulties. I yapped for too long, and the file was actually too big. My phone storage couldn't cope with it, so I ended up having to delete it because I couldn't do anything with it. Oh my gosh. It's boiling here, by the way. We're in the middle of a UK heatwave, so me and Ernie are not coping, which is why we are in here. No, basically, I accidentally filmed for a bit too long the other day. So I thought, well, I really desperately want to do this video. So I thought I will refilm, but I'll just make it a bit more casual. But I thought I would come and sit by the window. I must apologise for my appearance. I have not put myself together. I'm having a bit of a skin freak out at the moment, and with the hot weather and everything, it's not helping. So I apologise, I'm not wearing any makeup, I don't look very put together, but I thought, we're here to talk about books, it doesn't really matter, so excuse my additional head that I've gained over the past few days. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've named it Podrick the Blocked Paw. Yeah, it's great. But anyway, I was really excited to do today's video, and so I was really upset when I had to delete the footage of my previous attempt, but I thought, hey ho, we'll do it again. Because I wanted to film my mid-year book freakout tag. This is my first time ever doing this on sort of BookTube, and so I'm really excited. I've watched loads of other people's mid-year book freakout tag videos, and they're so great, and I just really wanted to have a go myself. But hopefully I can keep this one a bit more concise. So please make sure you have a beverage. Just because it's hot weather does not mean we don't have biscuit tea. This is fresh out of the kettle again though, so I'm probably going to give it a moment. But yeah, I'm also going to try and ramble a bit more today. Well, not ramble. Normally I wouldn't say I heavily edit my videos, but I definitely chop some bits out because I like to yap and I make a lot of mistakes and say a lot, and I don't like people to sort of see me do that, so I edit my videos quite a bit. But then I thought, I wonder if today if I could just ramble a little bit and just be a bit more free flow and not have to edit so much. Bless him in the background. Annie, I can't believe you're not joining me. I've got turkey and everything. You're not going to come sit down? Oh, he's got an itch. Anyway, so I'm going to get on. I'm not going to talk too much about the books themselves, about what they contain, everything like that. I'm just going to give my immediate reaction to the question and go through it like that. And again, I'm sorry about my appearance. I'm sorry about everything. I just hope you enjoy. Okay, so best book I've read so far this year. This feels almost impossible to choose. How? I've read so many incredible books this year. 2025 has been crazy. But gun to my head, if I had to choose, I have picked two. Okay, gun to my head. Just the whole First Law trilogy by Jo Abercrombie. I did not realise how much of an impact this series would have on me. I knew I would like it, but I didn't realise how much I would like it. This has changed my life. Grimdark at its finest, the most compelling, complex characters that have etched their way into my soul and made me severely question my moral compass, because inherently nobody in this is good. But yeah, I adore these characters and the story and just everything. The fact that I read this whole trilogy and then immediately reread it within a month, or started rereading it within a month with Leanne, is just, I think it's telling enough as it is. To want to deep dive straight back into it like that is very telling. So yeah, favourite read of the year so far, the whole First Law trilogy. But I was just going to mention my sort of other option for this, I can't remember the word I want to say, would be the Galsong trilogy, the Galsong Saga by Shauna Lawless. Again, I knew I would love it, but I didn't realise how much I would love it. I have never wanted to binge read a series so quickly in my life. I've been doing this as a buddy read with Abby, Leanne and Luke, and it's just been incredible. The pages turn themselves. I'm so invested in the characters and the story. The two female POVs are incredible. It's just insane. It's so good. I don't want to binge it, because it's probably a good job that we were doing a buddy read and doing certain chapters every day, because I think if I'd have been allowed to just do whatever I wanted, I probably would have binged through it and maybe not taken my time with it. But this series has absolutely blown me away. So this was like an honourable mention. That's the phrase I was looking for, an honourable mention. Apologies if I scroll. I've got my laptop in front of me to show me the prompts. I'm so chaotic today. I must apologise. I'm so sorry. Best sequel. Okay, I was torn between two. Again. So I'll say the real one, and then I'll mention my honourable mention. I'm going to hold up the wrong book, because I don't have the copy of the book but I want to say Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, the sequel to Red Rising. I don't have Golden Sun with me. I don't have the physical copy yet. I listened to it on audio, the graphic audio, and it absolutely knocked my socks off. And Red Rising was good. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't quite live up to the hype for me. But I've been told Golden Sun was so much better. The sequel was better. It gets better. And it did. It just blew me away. The story, the plot, the stakes in Red Rising didn't really feel like they worked for me. I could see why they were there, but they didn't have the impact I was hoping they would. And the characters did not have the impact that I was hoping they would. And then I read Golden Sun. I'm sorry, I know it's the wrong book. I'll put the actual cover on the screen. I read Golden Sun and it completely changed. The story, I finally felt so invested. The characters, I just became so invested in them. In Darrow, in Mustang, in Severo, all of them. It blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. So Golden Sun by Pierce Brown is my favourite sequel so far. But again, I'm going to have to do another honourable mention and say The Words of Kings and Prophets by Shauna Lawless. So sequel from the Gale Song saga. I didn't realise that books could just continue to get better and better and better. Now, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But in this series, they just keep getting better and better. And the sequel, Words of Kings and Prophets, really hit me emotionally. And I became really invested in a romantic relationship that takes place in this book as well. The stakes just got higher and higher and higher. It was amazing. I apologise that I'm not going into sort of detail about the sort of story, the plot and everything like that. I am going to do a deep dive into this series soon, sort of talk you through my full, non-spoiler review of the series as a whole. But also, I don't want to go into too much depth about any of these books, just give a brief mention to keep my video a bit shorter. But yeah, this was my honourable mention for the best sequel. Okay, number 3, a release you haven't yet read but want to. Lord Grimdark again. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Again, a new release, so it came out a couple of months ago, I think May, June time, and I haven't read it. I want to read all of his books in publication order, but I cannot wait. I think because I started with the First Law, I'm just going to progress through the series, get through First Law, go through all the standalones, then Age of Madness, things like that, and then do his, he's got a short story collection called Sharp Ends, I believe. I want to work my way through all of them in publication order, but this is a new release that I absolutely can't wait to get to. First Law has told me how much I love Joe Abercrombie and his writing, his characters and his stories. A lot of mixed reviews on this one I've seen, but nevertheless, I can't wait to read it because the First Law has absolutely changed my life. So Joe has changed my life. Lord Grimdark is my new author crush. I love him. Okay. Question number 4, the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I think this one goes without saying. I think it goes without saying. It has to be Empire of the Dawn by Jay Kristoff, the third and final book in the Empire of the Vampire trilogy. No words. I've been seeing so many people get their arcs recently that have sort of won in competitions. My friend Alex, I think Robin won one. Oh, so many people. And I'm so happy for them, but equally I'm so jealous. I'm like, I want to be you right now. But I can't wait till November when it comes out. I'm so excited. A couple of my friends have just been buddy reading Empire of the Vampire and Empire of the Damned. They've loved it. I've been getting all of their reactions. It's been amazing. So yeah, Empire of the Dawn. But I'm also going to put a shout out for, is it Shadows Upon Time? The new Sun Eater book. I'm probably not going to have caught up with Sun Eater by that point, by the time of its release, but I am excited because I've started Sun Eater and I'm loving it. So little honourable mention there. Number 5, the biggest disappointment. Some people may be able to guess this before I actually say it. Okay, now, when I say that it was my biggest disappointment, I think a lot of people think it means I didn't like the book, and that's not the case at all. I really enjoyed this. However, this was a case of a book that had been hyped so much. Yes, I think this was a case of the book being overhyped. I had heard so many people say it was the best book they'd ever read, best fantasy book of 2023, best fantasy book of 2024 that people had read. It was in so many top 5s, top 10s. I was hyped. And I was ready for this book to change my life. And it didn't. And that's The Will of the Many by James Islington. Now, I did enjoy this book, but I must say a few things. The reason for me that this didn't live up to the hype, I couldn't get on with Viz, the main character in this. I found it really difficult to like him. Now, you don't necessarily have to like a character for them to be a good character. Not at all. In fact, a lot of the time, I like villains. But Viz, for me, just got everything perfect all the time. And I found it really frustrating. I also think that there is something that happens a lot in this book. Okay, I'm going to say it and I'm trying not to spoil it, but if you know, you know. And if you know, please comment below. There was a lot of waking up that happened in this book. If you understand what I mean, please comment below. If you don't worry about it. But there was a lot of waking up every chapter. I didn't like Viz. I couldn't find him relatable in the slightest. And I didn't feel like the stakes were very high. Now that a lot of people are probably completely disagree with me, which is completely fine. I just didn't find the stakes were that high. I didn't find Viz compelling. I didn't find his story compelling. And I struggled for the majority, because this is a long book, I struggled as to why James Islington chose some of the tropes in the plot that he chose. I think it gets sort of branded as like an academic setting, which it is. And I felt like I quite like academic settings, but there was a crossover with another type of trope and it just felt overdone, overused, and I didn't find its relevance in the plot. However, the writing was beautiful, the ending was phenomenal, and I'm hooked for book 2. So it was a biggest disappointment in terms of, for me, it didn't live up to the hype. However, and I have gripes with it, however, it was a good book and I'm intrigued for book 2. So it wasn't a complete meltdown sort of issue, but it was a disappointment. Okay, question 6, my biggest surprise. Okay, I have to say that I'm not going to say anything new here because I'm going to have to just bring back some ones that I've already mentioned. But my biggest surprises probably were Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I know this isn't Golden Sun, but Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, because even though people had told me it was a lot better than Red Rising, I didn't know whether to believe them. And it absolutely blew me away. It took my rating of Red Rising from a 3.5 to the whole series becoming one of my favourite series of all time. So, and me crying. So, that. The Gal Song Trilogy by Shauna Lawless. I knew I would love it. I did not realise how much I would love it. It blew me away. So this is 100% a surprise for me. And also, alongside that, again, I have to mention it again, but The First Law. I knew I would like it, but I didn't realise how obsessed with this I would be. And also just how much I think about it. I think about these characters. I've mentioned it before, bodies floating in the docks. I quote it. I find myself just thinking of those moments and just these characters. I think about Logan Ninefingers about 12 times a day. So, sorry, I cheated. Multiple answers. Question 7. Favourite new author, debut or new to you? Okay, well, I could mention all of those 3 again. Joe Abercrombie, Shauna Lawless, Pierce Brown. 100%. But because I've mentioned them so many times already, I'm going to try not to cheat. So I'm going to mention someone new. ML Wong. Blood Over Brighthaven was absolutely incredible. I read this back in February and I demolished it in like 2 days. Demolished, that sounds really bad, doesn't it? Devoured. I devoured it in 2 days. It was perfect. It was perfect. I have no notes. It was emotionally devastating, incredibly relevant, thematically, incredibly relevant, compelling characters. not necessarily a likeable character. The main female character in this is not necessarily likeable, but she's understandable. You understand why she is the way she is. There's very open and honest conversations that happen in this book between characters. The communication is excellent. And honestly, I really need to do a review of this, to be honest, but honestly, M.L. Wong, and I can't wait to read Sword of Kaigan. So M.L. Wong is for sure a new favourite author for me. Newest fictional crush. I have two. Merca from the Gale Song trilogy and Logan Nine Fingers. Okay. Kind, compassionate, caring, yearning. Yearning. Abby will know what I mean. Yearning. In here, he shows real yearning, and that is rare. Yeah, I have a crush on Logan Nine Fingers. Yeah, I have no words. He's perfect. He is... What could I say about him? I think I made some notes. He's gentle, he's calm, he's kind, but yet he's also got the darkest, meanest side. It's kind of cute. He is deemed simple and not very interesting, and that he doesn't have anything interesting or important to say, but yet he has some of the most compelling nuggets of wisdom and important life lessons that anybody could give. He's funny, he's witty, he sees the best in people. I love him. Newest crush. Newest favourite character. Logan Nine Fingers. For the same reason. Just, he's like an onion. He's got so many layers, okay? And I think about him every day. Logan Nine Fingers. I'm sorry I'm using him for tea. Number 10, a book that made me cry. I'm going to hold up two, but they're in the same series, so it's fine. A Time of Dread and A Time of Blood by John Gwynne from Of Blood and Bone. Yes, multiple tears. The Faithful and the Fallen is one of my favourite series of all time. The Banished Lands. This is the sequel series. Many tears. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, a book that made you happy. All of them. All of them. All of the ones that I've mentioned. All of them. Yeah, all of them. Sorry. There you go. I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to say all of them. Also, I'm going to say a shout out to a book called So Thrilled for You that I read with Abby. I buddy read it with Abby a few months ago. That made me so happy because I had such a good experience buddy reading that with Abby. But I think First Law and Gale Song as well. Just hugely happy. Most beautiful book cover design. I picked 3 for this. 6 Wild Crowns by Holly Race. Look at that. That is stunning. The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. Floored me. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Look at it. And finally, I had to pick up, of course, my new special edition of Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. Look at it. This one. Okay, and finally, question 13. What books are you prioritising to read by the end of the year? I have started, and I'm prioritising The Live Ship Traders by Robin Hobb. Loving this so far. Oh my gosh. Also finishing the Farseer trilogy. I soft DNF'd Assassin's Quest last week, and I've re-picked it up, restarted. I'm slowing it down. I'm determined to finish it, but also I'm enjoying it a lot more. So I just don't think I was in the right headspace when I started it a few weeks ago. But yeah, so Farseer and Live Ships by Robin Hobb. Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio. I've started it. I'm obsessed. Hadrian is going to, I'm doing a buddy read of this with Brother Grimdark, Andrew on Bookstagram. This is going to kill me off. This is going to kill me off. We were talking about it and we both said, this is going to really emotionally break us. And we're only I think we're up to chapter 20 maybe. And already we're like, yeah, we're invested. This is going to get emotional. So Sun Eater. And also I need to read The Painted Man by Peter V. Brett. Demon Cycle, I need to start it. And then my other priority, I'm about to finish it, but it is to finish the Blood and Bone saga by John Gwynne. And that's going to happen because we're on 85%, me and Liam, the Scottish guy that reads. And then my final priority is to do my reread of The Hobbit and then read The Lord of the Rings with Immy, Abby and Abby later this year. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry for the chaos of this video. I know it's completely different to normal, but I was so excited to do this tag, and I thought, you know what, I filmed it once. I went a bit on a bit too long, so let's just do a really chilled, although it's definitely not chilled because it's me, but let's just do a more sort of laid back version. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what any of your answers to any of these tags. So favourite character, new favourite book you're looking forward to, anything like that, please let me know down below in the comments. And thank you just so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you again soon. Oh, if you like this video, please do give it a like. It would mean so much to me. And if you would like to become a firm member of the Library of a Silver Saint, then please do hit the subscribe button. It means the world to me, and I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.